Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gamers Lounge, and this is Michael, your host. Well, Hamster Corporation have done it again by giving us the second Arcade Archives 2 release in their series. This time we have Air Combat 22, which was released by Namco in 1995 and is the sequel to the original Air Combat in 1993. So Air Combat 22 is so called because it's based on the System 22 board upon which it's running in the arcade. But anyway, let's get straight into it. Like the arcade Ridge Racer before it, the Arcade Archives version that is, you got the same menus. So I'll just go straight into it. Now I've got it running on the PS5. It's available on Xbox Series X and S, PS4 and Switch 2. Now the last gen versions are slightly different. As you know, the current gen ones have got a couple of bells and whistles like save states, for example. Now, when you're in this particular screen here, if you press start, like the other previous release, Hamster Corporation, Ridge Racer one, you get your various settings that you can change. So anyway, let's get straight into it. Now, when you get to the main menu, you have 4 difficulty levels: Cadet with tutorial and without, Top Gun, which is more difficult with more enemies, more stages, and Dogfight. Let's go into Cadet with tutorial. You can select 4 different planes. Love the background music, rousing and typical video gamey music, arcadey music, that kind of thing. You know, I've always loved that kind of thing. So this one does have different viewpoints, and it's telling you there. Press start button to change the view. There you go, cockpit, close, far, cockpit. So you can either press X and use your Vulcan gun to destroy enemies, very slow moving enemies of course in the easier stages, or you can press circle once you're locked on by the orange reticule there, and you can press circle and you can launch a missile which destroys your enemies. Get a bit closer to him. There we go, and we've destroyed those. If you press R2 you accelerate, L2 is to decelerate. And basically, as you can see, the tutorial pretty much speaks for itself. Now control wise, this feels very nice and at home on your PS5 controller or whichever platform you're playing it on. It controls nicely, it's very responsive, no problems there, no issues whatsoever with the control. The graphics are nice and crisp, of course ever so slightly dated, but they still look bloody good. Even by today's standards, they still look good. I mean, lovely, beautiful patchwork of fields there, the landscape. Yes, I know how to change the viewpoint. Yes, use radar to locate enemies, we know. And there you have it. So you follow your arrows and have a look at your radar to track where your enemies are. So the earlier levels, the cadet levels, are nice and easy. But the other slightly more difficult levels are a little harder. The enemies move around a hell of a lot quicker, they're more difficult to track, and even if you fire missiles, whether you're locked on or not, the other planes tend to have a chaff, I think it's called chaff, isn't it, where they can avoid missiles. A bit like launching flares to confuse homing missiles. And in the later levels, in the more difficult ones, enemy planes have the ability to avoid your initial missile or two with these chaffs. So you've got to, you know, be careful not to use them all, because they are limited. So I personally haven't played this one in the arcade. I've seen it being played, and I was watching intently all those years back because I went to the arcade with my nephew I think that's when I saw Virtua Fighter run, and what that sort of made me want to buy a Saturn. And so I was watching Ace Combat being played, and it did look impressive. Here's the other thing, that between levels you can refuel, so you have to maneuver the probe into the drogue, is it called that? Oh, I've done it. There you go. For the first time I've actually done it, because the other times I tried it I didn't do it, so autopilot takes over and does it for you, but it penalizes you by not giving you a bonus. I was hoping the bonus would have been something like an extra plane or something. It's not. Bloody 10 seconds. Yes, there is a timer, so you have to shoot down the planes within the time limit. You can change that in the options screen to make the time limit last a bit longer, but you still have a time limit. But then again, because, you know, it's the home version of the arcade game, you've got a few extra chances. In the more difficult levels, if it's time up, it's time up and you're stuffed. Whee! Almost rammed into him there. Gotcha. And there you have it. So now, if you want to buy this one in UK stores, for example, the PS5 version is priced at $13.99. Personally, seeing it at that price, I wouldn't recommend it. There you go, look, enemy chaff and jamming missile. I wouldn't recommend it because, at least not at the moment, wait till it's on sale. Because like Ridge Racer before it, it's a direct conversion of the arcade game without the extras, like in the PS1 version. Where you've got your extra cars, for example, in Ridge Racer and Air Combat, you've got, you know, much more stuff to sort of play through. So the longevity is very limited. So you get what you pay for. But I suppose if you're a purist and you want to play these games at home because you've enjoyed them in the arcade back in the day, then absolutely, it's your choice. Go for it. But personally, I would wait. But it's really nice. I do really like the graphics. I love the background music. This typical rousing video game Japanese pop music or rock. It's really nice, and it just takes you right back, really. And this does feel quite at home on your PS5 controller or whichever platform you choose to play it on. It feels nice and at home. It's really nice and responsive. If you suffer from motion sickness, you're going to have a hard time, especially in the more difficult levels, because the enemies are very pestiferous, as you can see. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. I have 2 reviews for you, so this is the first one. I'm going to review something else for you, and I know I did say I wasn't going to review any more of these body cam games, but I had to review that one. But you'll find out more if you watch the review. Anyway, take care, and thanks for stopping by. Ciao, ciao.